Welcome to TradeTheNBA.com. This is John's report. It's for the first of the month, and we can see clearly, same old story. I mean, short from there, we'd gotten a couple of indication buys that then we saw the DOC flip back to the short, and then we moved back into a malaise, which with that orange sitting right in between there is still mostly bearish, minus 34 on that. Doesn't change the overall expectation for after election to the upside, but at the current point, we're just going to bounce around at this particular spot. It looks like we've got weakening, but at any point here, we're going to have this little bit of a turnaround, and I would expect at that point we're either going to see our orange break down below, and it's probably going to happen after the election. It's just the way it's looking based on what we can see. It's going to take several days for some of this to even out. The NQ, likewise, right underneath the green line. And we've been looking for this normalization where you can see while the Dow is above the green line, proportionally is in relation to the highs evening out. And so that's what we've been looking for, is a normalization between the ratios of the various markets. Still hovering right around the edge, minus 13. 50 is right at the edge of what we would consider for a buy signal. Speaking of buys, there you can see that small brief dip of the orange way up here with the 13.5. It's just now getting to what we would consider an actual buy signal, and you would expect to see the orange carry through and a turnaround. We had a little hyper move, took out the lows, and then carried through just a fraction so that people could accumulate as everyone thought the world was ending, at least for the euro, and then it bounces back. TLT still at the bottom. That's not going to be going anywhere at this particular point. It does have the potential for dipping below the red here another day or so. We'll be looking for that. That could potentially produce a buy signal, which at this point after the decline would be a modest one, still way overvalued. Particularly if you start weighing in some of the scenarios. This is what we talked about. Some of those scenarios would be serious impact, various ideas, at least for TLT, it would be a problem. For USO, obviously opening up fracking big time would certainly put downward pressure on oil prices dramatically. And we saw that breakdown start, though, back over here, and it's just continued. And gold. Slight rally as we've continued to see rising red, broke through the 13.5, just slightly improved, and that shakeout's been improving since, well, back over here right at this same 121 level. So it's just been in consolidation, improving. Hasn't gotten overbought, it's close, but not there. I mean, it still has some potential. So here's what we saw. We had the buy signal come in. We ended up fading a little bit of that as we ended up with the DOC spread. Then the orange ended up right in the middle there until we popped down below. Put in a new buy signal right in around the 22 level. And it fought back and forth and did it again. A little bit lower with the shakeout reading. It was right about here at the 23.50. So pretty close all to the same, and then just buys back up and got overbought just a fraction right here. And it has just completely retraced that overbought status. So leaves it set. We've got cyan moving below red, so short term positive. So we could see just a return back to the mean, which would be almost evening out for all of October. Nothing too dramatic, but in line with expectations of choppy until we get resolution on this election. Still a few days out. It's interesting, though, because they did do a little bit of a market analysis I was watching where if you're down from July through October, which we are slightly, it bodes well for Trump. Some of these things become anecdotal. A lot of it is just based on the fact that you have uncertainty and fear going into it. If there was certainty on a re-election, then it makes things much easier. You're able to just continue with the trend. I don't put a whole lot of stock into a lot of that, but certainly it impacts what we're looking at. What we've noticed mostly is just a decrease in algo activity, which means there's some concern about volatility, and I think that is worth noting more than anything at this particular point. But as always, trade well. We will talk again as I continue to put up charts on the Skype chat and make adjustments to this program. I had a few, but they were causing some runtime errors. I have to adjust them because we'll just tie up the system, which is no good. Always something, though. As always, though, trade well. We'll talk again later.